It was just 3 days into the 2-week filming schedule. The first day was fairly typical. Super Nanny spent the day observing Mother and me, and by the end of the day, she suggested the necessary changes. On the second day, I was told that I'd be petticoated, both during the day and at night. I was shown my new wardrobe, new underwear, and the most dreadful of all, my new nightwear. On the third day, Super Nanny assigned me many household chores, giving Mother more free time than she had ever experienced before. Initially, my greatest anxiety was the idea of the show being broadcast on TV, with everyone I know seeing the petticoating treatment I had endured. But many had already seen me in my petticoated state well before the filming concluded. As stated, I was petticoated both day and night, and both indoors and outdoors. I fetched groceries and completed errands, wearing one of my domestic dresses paired with a white pinafore apron. We went to the park and the shopping mall, visited friends and family while I wore one of my prissy sissy dresses. And it was no secret that as a petticoated boy, I now had to wear a nappy at bedtime. When the show finally aired, it was titled Super Nanny: The Petticoat Files, and each episode showcased a different family living under Super Nanny's guidance for 2 entire weeks. The boys in each family were petticoated, just like I had been, and some even had to wear nappies all day long. From the very first episode, Super Nanny became the talk of the schoolyard. Everyone knew I'd been a participant, and they all eagerly awaited my episode. They had cut out all the disputes and quarrels and made it seem like I was almost agreeable to being petticoated. They depicted me walking to my room, picking up one of my diapers and bringing it to Super Nanny so she could prepare me for bed. But they removed all the lead-up and backtalk. At the conclusion of my episode, there was a catch-up segment showing Super Nanny's return a few months after the initial filming and a few weeks before the show was set to air. Mother proudly mentioned on camera that she had adopted some, but not all of Super Nanny's suggestions. Peter doesn't need to be petticoated all the time, she said, but he does wear his domestic dresses while doing the housework. The camera then cut to a shot of me dusting the mantelpiece dressed in my domestic dress and apron, and of course on Sundays he wears one of his Sunday dresses, she added, as a clip of me in one of my prissy dresses was shown. But the rest of the time he's just a regular boy. Aren't you? Mother added, as the camera panned out to show me sitting on the sofa next to her, thankfully dressed in my male clothing. Super Nanny asked a question I had been dreading, and Mother replied, "Of course. Knickers by day, nappies by night, don't you, dear?" she added, turning to me. I slowly nodded. "And he doesn't have to wear his bra to school as long as he wears it the rest of the time," Mother added. The camera focused closely on me as Super Nanny inquired about my thoughts on being petticoated, and with hesitation I responded, "It's not so bad once you get accustomed to it." She then questioned if I had any preferred dresses. Initially I just shook my head, but eventually confessed to liking my simpler domestic dresses over my frilly Sunday dresses. None of the students at school believed me when I claimed I was instructed to say, "It's not bad once you get used to it," and that they had cut out all the negative things I said about being petticoated. Almost all of my resistance had been edited out of the show too, but nobody wanted to hear my version of events. As far as they or anyone else knew, I had been more or less willing from the beginning. But that wasn't the reality. The relentless teasing at school eventually dwindled. I can go several days without anyone mentioning my appearance on the Super Nanny show, but it never lasts more than a week. One day, a classmate yelled, "Are you wearing your bra today, Pete?" making the entire class erupt in laughter. "No," I retorted. The teacher calmed the class, warned my classmate to be quiet or face detention, then told me not to lie. "Sorry, sir," I mumbled, lowering my head in shame. "Ow!" I yelped as the girl behind me snapped my bra strap. The teacher reprimanded her too, but it offered little comfort. Everyone is aware that I wear girls' underwear beneath my boys' clothes, and that I need to wear a nappy at night. I attempt to justify this by explaining that if I don't, I'd have to wear girls' clothes all the time, and I really don't want to do that. It's already tough enough wearing the underwear every day and the occasional Sunday dress. My next major concern is the upcoming DVD release of the latest Super Nanny series, which features over 6 hours of unseen footage. I'm anxious about what might be included, but perhaps, just perhaps, they'll show the conflicts and disputes, evidence that I wasn't as cooperative as the show suggested.